Clarissa Harlow Barton, also known as Clara Barton, was born on December 25, 1821 in North Oxford, Massachusetts. She lived in a small house with her father, mother, and siblings. The house she lived in is still up and you can visit it today in Massachusetts. She had 4 siblings named Sarah, Dorothea, Stephen, and David, and she was the youngest out of all 5. Her parents were Sarah Barton Vassall and Stephen Barton. Her father was a prosperous farmer and her mother was an independent woman who supported women's rights and the abolition of slavery. In 1833, Clara's brother David became extremely ill because he had fallen from some rafters, and she took care of him for 2 whole years and missed school to watch her brother. That was her first act she had done as a nurse, and that's when she realized that's what she wanted to do with her life. At the age of 18, she began working and founded a school for workers' children. By the age of 24, Barton moved to Bordentown, New Jersey. There she had established the first free school in 1852, but things didn't go so well when the school instead hired a man to be a principal and paid him twice her salary. Ever since that moment, she told herself that she would never work for less than a man. 2 years later, Barton later moved to Washington and worked in the U.S. Patent Office as a recording clerk and was paid the same amount as her male colleagues. She was one of the first women to work for the Federalist government. In 1861, when she was still in Washington, the American Civil War began. Barton made it her mission to bring supplies to Union soldiers in need. She did not attend nursing school since it wasn't very formalized back then, but she was a self-taught nurse. Barton went and provided nursing care and supplies to soldiers to help and save their lives while risking her own. After the war had ended, she opened the Office of Missing Soldiers. The Office of Missing Soldiers was an office on the 3rd floor of her boarding house on 7th Street in Washington, where she would find missing soldiers, dead or alive, and reconnect them with their families. Clara got over 60,000 letters and information about missing soldiers, and sometimes more than 150 letters in a single day. After the Civil War, she would be at every major battle with transport supplies. Barton was eventually known as the Angel of the Battlefield. Clara wanted more than anything to become a Union soldier. Since that was an impossible dream for a 39-year-old woman, she became a veritable soldier, a nurse, and a one-woman relief to the wounded at some of the most famous battles of war, such as the Second Bull Run, Antietam, Fredericksburg, Petersburg, and so much more. Barton would serve as a surrogate mother, sister, wife, or sweetheart to thousands of sick, wounded, and dying men. She had given her whole life to become a nurse. In 1869, Barton had gone on a trip to Switzerland and she had learned about the Red Cross movement. She had read a book written by Henry Duggett, the founder of the Global Red Cross Network. He would call for international agreements to protect the sick and wounded during the wartime without discriminating by their nationality. This was called the Geneva Treaty. Clara was inspired and volunteered with the International Committee of the Red Cross. She was providing civilian relief during the Franco-Prussian War. This had inspired Barton to bring the Red Cross movement back to America. She had meetings with the President Rutherford B. Hayes, and she fought hard and wanted to ratify the treaty by the United States. May 21, 1881, Clara founded the American Red Cross Association. Hayes first rejected her, but his successor, President James Garfield, supported this idea and was ready to sign the treaty, but he was assassinated. This put Clara in a complicated situation, but finally Garfield's successor, Chester Arthur, signed the treaty, and a few days later a Senate revised it. Later on, Clara Barton served as the Red Cross president for 23 years, and during that time the first KIT was formed by Friedrich Esmar. The first KIT is everywhere today and all over the world to help people on the spot. During the 20th century, the Red Cross expanded beyond just military relief and went on to helping communities and just preparing for emergencies. Clara retired in 1904, and our 28th president, Woodrow Wilson, took over and became president of the association. Clara later on died at her home in Glen Echo, Maryland on April 12, 1912, at the age of 91 from pneumonia. She had also struggled with depression, but always seemed to recover with each humanitarian cause that arose. Clara far exceeded the average life expectancy for a woman in 1912, which was 56. She was buried in the Barton Family Cemetery plot in Oxford, Massachusetts, her hometown.